Hey, Copper here, and more of my OT 2020 through hike. But first, I am not on the OT. Obviously, I'm at the sometimes at least beautiful Lake Thunderbird. But I want to be sure to mention before we get on to the rest of the videos that this was also a fundraiser. I took some pledge grants from some of my very generous friends whose name we're going to pop up here. We're raising money for the Alzheimer's Foundation. Fight Alzheimer's, because Alzheimer's sucks. What more do you need to say? And we raised over $2,000, $2,094 actually. So thank you so much for everyone, and thank you for following along. It was a lot of extra motivation for me, and it was pretty cool. Having old friends cheer me on. So thank you.
All right, so morning day 12, I think. Yeah. It's Wednesday. Not sure the date. Just got off from the B&B, so I'm just past the Highway 7 trailhead, rocking my new duct tape and bobby pin GoPro mount here to replace the screw I lost, but seems like it's okay. Great stay at Mountain Thyme. Those folks were awesome. Took me to a restaurant. I went right when it opened at 4 o'clock because I'm an old man now, so I'm ready for dinner. And got a good night's sleep. Got a good breakfast this morning, real good breakfast, and still got on the trail, like 8:30, a little before that actually. So pretty good. So I've got 4 days to do 60 miles. Basically, I'm at 160. I got to get to 122. So I got like 4 days to do 60 miles and change, which means we just need to average like 15. And that's about what I'm going today. A little less to the campsite. It might be a little late because I'm starting about an hour late. But I've also done 20. So I think I can get in about the same time, 4:30 or so. Still light, barely. No shelter to go to tonight, but this is supposed to be a pretty good campsite next to a creek, which I kind of like the ones next to creeks. It's easy water and all that. So that's the plan. It's a glorious day. Weather looks good. It might be a smidge warmer than I like, actually. It's like highs in the low 70s. I'd rather be 60s and cool because I'm pretty much already sweating, and it's like 8:30. So I have this weird, the heel feels good. I have a bandage on it. I have this weird pinched nerve thing in my shoulder. My left hand goes tingly. I'm not having a stroke or heart attack. It's only when I wear my pack. It's something to do with the nerve in the shoulder, and it's just annoying. There's just not much I can do about it. It's pinching a nerve. I keep shifting the strap around. It's not changing anything. This hand is just half asleep like all day. So that kind of stinks, but it's not the end of the world. It's just annoying. It doesn't really hurt, so I'll take it. This spot on my back where I have a rash, especially late in the afternoon when it gets sweaty, that hurts. I have to shift the pack around so it doesn't touch that spot. I'm going to try to wedge something in later, I think. Anyway, that's the medical report. Big thing of new pines here. There's a fire or what? Up on top of a little ridge. Somewhere around 162. It's quite nice through here. Quite nice. Although I've been making a lot of noise, hey bear, because it feels kind of berry to me. Anywhere there's lots of low brush cover. I don't know why. It always feels like bear territory. I don't know if that's true, but that's when I start singing songs and saying, hey bear, and whistling. So don't want to surprise a bear. And in this narrow corridor of tunnel, I could turn a corner and it could be right there. So the idea is you make lots of noise, like hey bear. So I get sick of saying "Hey bear," so I start singing songs usually. But yeah. Sun is shining through the tree. There ain't a cloud in sight. It's not raining. Everybody's in the play, and don't you know, it's a beautiful new day. Hey, hey. Walking down the avenue, see how the sun shines brightly on the city, on the streets where once was pity. Mr. Blue Sky is living here today. Hey, hey. Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why you had to hide away for so long, so long. Where did we go wrong? Hey there, Mr. Blue, we're so pleased to be with you. Look around, see what you do. Everybody smiles at you. Bum, 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 bum. Hey, you with the pretty face, welcome to the human race. Celebration, Mr. Blue Sky is out there waiting, and today is the day we've waited for. Oh, Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why you had to hide away for so long. Where did we go wrong? Hey there, Mr. Blue, we're so pleased to be with you. Look around, see what you do. Everybody smiles at you. Bum, 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 bum. That's a briar. Mr. Blue, you did it right. But soon comes old Mr. Night, creeping over, now his hand is on your shoulder. Never mind, I remember you this way. I don't do the second artist song because I don't know it. That's my singing. I always think of Libby. Libby turned me onto that song, and sing it when the blue sky comes out. Just a backpacking song to me. That's for you, Lib. So right after I turned it off, I got to one of these doubles. There's a double. I've been going along here straight along the creek. There's a double. I turn. So look, it's not this way, it's that way. Right up these steps. And there we go. Right back on trail. Just watch for the blazes. Now I'm gonna climb out of this draw slash creek slash gully. Keep going up this hill. There we go. Get a little view off the edge here. That drops off pretty quick. That's right where we came in, right through there. Way up over here. And now we're doubling back. I'm going up this mountain, or little one. I know there are a couple pretty good climbs. Basically, I've been doing this first climb that I saw on the gut hook. Climbing up, I think it was about 700 feet. It was a pretty good little way of climb, so I'm gonna be climbing here for a while. Okay, well, that's a view. The lake or something way out there, and that's northish, so I think it's Lake Wister, but I don't know. Actually, I'm kind of turned right now, so not sure. No, I'm heading pretty close to due east, so that's definitely north. Okay, I'm pretty sure you probably won't even show on the camera the smidge of a lake out there, but I think it's a lake, and I think it's Lake Wister too. It's north. But this is the kind of view I have now. That leaves are almost all off, although you can see a few right there. It's actually some of the first I've seen in a little bit, other than small little dabbles like this yellow here. It's mostly, I have pretty much watched the leaves fall. There's still a few up high, if I could lean back up there, but not many. Mostly gone. You know, on the plus side, I have views. Oh, there we go. Closed to motor vehicles and horses. Thank you. But anyway, it's like I said, all the leaves on the ground are kind of a pain in the butt. Although it's kind of fun that they sort of kick up as long as there's no rocks. It kind of forms a rhythm. And kind of. Anyway, it's like your percussion, the crunch of the leaves. Okay, so hiking on mid-morning here, just ran into a couple guys. Boots and Scooter, I think were their trail names. I want to get one of these interactions with other thru hikers. Those guys were going west. One of the guys had actually done it before, all except the last 50 miles because of flooding, going the other way. Anyway, these discussions with thru hikers going the other way are always kind of interesting, but I'm not sure. I don't have the recorder on, and other than people I've explicitly asked, I don't want to do it, but I should get one of these conversations because there's this weird lingo of, you know, we exchange like water conditions and whether this site was any, you know, intense site was any good or whatever, but it's a very condensed. Yeah, I was, you know, a lot of, well, the tent site at 74.2 kind of was the, you know, and you don't want to go there, go click past. And anyway, it's just funny, a discussion of conditions and how it's going. The one guy, Scoots, this older dude, huge gray beard. I put mine to shame. Just like this massive beard. I should have got a picture of him just for the beard. Anyway, I'll try to get the next one. But those guys going west, so they just started a few days ago. And it's weird. Probably see a few more westbounders over the next few days, I assume. I've honestly lost track of the number of westbound thru hikers that I met. I mean, throughs that were trying to go all the way. I mean, it's double digits, just the westbounders. So that's pretty neat. This mount is kind of messed. Kind of messed up. That was sure terrible. Anyway, it's kind of weird, but that's the way it goes with this. So I just blew by Oak Mountain Shelter. I don't tend to use the shelters much for breaks. They're kind of siren songs that suck up vast quantities of time. Usually they're off a side trail like that one. I'm not sure how far it was, but it's at least, you know, sometimes can be a ways up and down a hill, which is energy. And I end up taking a really long break there, which sounds terrible. Like, why wouldn't I want to take breaks? But I still have the same mileage to do. So all that means is I get into camp later. And frankly, I cherish the camp time more. The unwind time. The earlier I can get in and meet my mileage goal, I'm always happier. I mean, if I get in too early, then I might feel guilty about not walking a little more. But so it's about time management for me. It's about that I would rather save that time to just lounge around and camp. I very seldom stop. So I'll take a lunch. The other thing, I wasn't hungry. So I'll take a lunch in about an hour, just, you know, somewhere sit on a log. You know, it won't be quite as comfy, but I'd rather have that time back at the end of the day. You know, an extra 45 minutes to lay around camp that I might have took as a break at a shelter by the time I get there and get all my stuff off and then get it back on and go back down the trail. You know, I could be laying around in camp, watching an episode of 30 Rock on my phone, which is a lot of times what I've been doing, which sounds weird, sit around a campfire or something, but I have seasons of 30 Rock on my phone I'm rewatching, and it's, you know, it's something silly I can kind of have back on the background. This phone is amazing on battery, so it's fine. I don't know, a little piece of something, and then, or just lay around, and then when it gets dark, watch stars usually, or maybe a little column A, a little column B. But anyway, I really like that time. So quite a view there. I read about this in the guidebook last night, and I can't remember the name of the mountain. Big surprise. But you can see it. It's the best view I've had yet of this big granite bluff, which I think that is definitely Ozarky. Certainly doesn't look very Ouachita-y to me. I'm going to look it up in the guidebook tonight. Anyway, quite a view. Going towards what's supposed to be a really nice campground at 175 point something. I'm looking forward to it. I should be in relatively early. I'm making great time. Powered on by that great breakfast. It wasn't a quiche, it was a flan, I can't remember. It's like an upside down quiche. It was really good. Had zucchini and some other stuff. Oh, look at these guys. Hey guys. Wow. I'm not seeing a lot of crows. Those, I believe, are corvids. Big flock of them. I've heard them. I guess the first time I've seen them. Anyway, so I believe we're looking towards the Ozark Highlands. North. So look up tonight what that is. I'm here at this campsite, which was recommended to me by a couple different thru hikers I met going the other way. And it gets good reviews on Guthook, and I see why. It's absolutely beautiful. It's at 175.2 in the flat side wilderness. Nestled down in this little valley here. It's this lovely brook. It's not flowing really high right now. There's some pools back here, some deep pools actually, where I'm going to go soak my feet in and get some water. But it's utterly beautiful here. It's a great spot for a tent, several, and a great fire pit. So I'm going to have a fire, looks like. There's already some wood, so wood won't be a problem, I don't think. And yeah, just got to do a few camp chores, put up my tent, which I think is probably just going to go, I guess, right here. Maybe right there. I don't know, whichever one's flatter. Anyway, yeah, that's it. Sun is setting. It's just beautiful right here. And this is when I was talking earlier about wanting to, like, I push it. I don't take a lot of breaks during the day because I want to get here at 2:30 like I did today, did my 15 miles and chill here in camp. Well, I still got some light to see things and enjoy this beautiful view. Not that there's not views on the way, but I want to chill in camp for a few hours before I go to bed at like 6 o'clock. Basically, as soon as it gets dark, my body's just like, all right. So, yeah. So I kind of pushed it today. I didn't even get on until after breakfast at the Airbnb, or at the B&B, not Airbnb, regular B&B, Mountain Thyme. Those guys, they were so awesome. Mike and Rhonda, shout outs. You know, shuttled me around the whole 9 yards. Anyway, I had that great breakfast this morning, like a frittata. I think pretty sure I remembered what it was called. It's like an upside down quiche with like homemade zucchini and peppers. Like by homemade, I mean grown right outside. Oh man, it was so good. Banana bread smothered in butter. I asked for butter and she said, oh, it's already, I just put a whole bunch of butter on it. It's soaked in. I was like, yes, ma'am, you did. You are correct. It does not need any more butter. It was a really good breakfast. Oh, and ham. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna set up tent. This is gonna be a pretty cool night, I think, in here. The weather is is like 72 today. It's just, I mean, you know, if I wanted to quibble a few degrees colder for hiking, I wouldn't sweat as much, but it has been gorgeous weather, knock on wood, ever since Queen Wilhelmina State Park, really. I had one cold night, so I'll take that. Blessings. The end is near. I know exactly what I'm doing now the rest of the days. Tomorrow I'm doing a bigger day to about 19 to about 194 or something. There's a shelter. You know, I can do a bigger day. I'll be up earlier than I was today. I didn't get on the trail till 8:30 today, which, even though I had breakfast, that's amazing. But a typical would be 7 or possibly earlier. Certainly 7:30 at the latest. That's if I'm lollygagging. So, yeah, so I can put in a big day knowing I don't have to set up the tent or anything at the end of the night. So hang in the shelter and then push through. I think it's about 15 miles to really the only site I can camp on the last 30 miles is a private thing. There's no camping there, so you have to cut over to this private one. That stages me for 14.8 to finish on Saturday. It's really weird to think about finishing. So anyway, that's what I like to do. What do we got on the menu today? Well, we got Mitch's homemade ramen bomb. Ramen with some seasoning. I had bulk dehydrated vegetables added to it, or that I personally added to it, and some good seasoning. It's just chicken ramen as a base. It's got some chunks of beef jerky in it, and there's potatoes I can add. I don't add all the potatoes, but so the first thing I have to do is boil 2.5 cups of water in my little stove. So I'm going to do that real quick. So this is my stove, this tiny little thing. Threaded on the top of my gas pretty carefully. This is titanium. You're not going to mess with that, but you can cross thread that. You can mess up your threads on the deal. And if you're careful with this gas, it lasts an astounding amount of time. I probably could have did 2 of these. Anyway, so and then I'm gonna fire it up. It's boiling, or it's close to boiling. Sorry, it's not boiling, but it's about to be. We're ready to go. Got our little koozie here, homemade out of a windshield screen. That goes around my pot, so I'm initially gonna pour into here. And I got additions, spices, dried garlic, which is awesome. I put a bunch in here and still haven't come close to it. This is the best. I usually put, this is my hot spices. I don't have hot sauce, I have hot spices. I still have a little bit of olive oil. Usually we'll add a little olive oil when I add the potatoes. Just a little bit of fat. I don't get a ton of that. This should be pretty close to boiling. Now it's boiling. Cut her off. Can I do this one-handed? Ooh, solid. Solid, bro. Okay. I've already put all my seasonings. I'll give this a solid stir. And zip her up. Zip it up. Actually put it back in here. This in the pot. This little thing converts like so. Goes on top. I know I'm moving this camera all over the place. Yes, top, and then the topper. And the topper. Then it's cooking. Basically, it's all heated up in there. Now, this is gonna go for a little bit, and then I'm gonna add some of the potatoes, but not all. All right, so it's been, 5-10 minutes or so. Also, it's ridiculous. I should point out that I've got like all of camp set up, a fire going. I'm cooking dinner. It's like 4:45. I mean, the sun isn't even really going down yet. I finished the 15 miles today ridiculously early, even though I got a late start. So again, I'm not worried about doing 19 tomorrow. It should be, everything feels fine. The bandage on the foot was fine. Everything was fine. So anyway, let's look at the ramen here. So I'm gonna add a little bit of olive oil. think. We'll see how I'm feeling on the potatoes. See how much water is there. So usually my deciding factor is there's really not much leftover water for the potatoes, so I'm not gonna put a ton of potatoes. I don't like a ton of the potatoes anyway. I more am about the ramen, so I needed about half the amount of potatoes, but I'll stir those in, give it a little bit of carbo load magic. The important thing is that the vegetables take a long time to rehydrate. That looks like it's not quite got enough. Ooh, about spilled my olive oil. That would have been a disaster. So I'm gonna dribble some olive oil in there because I want some fats. Okay. And then we're gonna let that cook some more. I'm a touch tired of it. I've eaten it a lot. I have a few nights where I have a Mountain House meal. Again, those get pretty pricey. If you did that for a whole through hike, if you took like 3 or 4 weeks, which I'm not sure if I've mentioned this on anything while I'm recording, but that would definitely be the way to do it. Yeah. 3 weeks, you could do about 10 miles a day and really see things. 4 weeks, you could really take your time. You could do some of the side trails. That would be amazing. Doing it like this in 2 weeks has been just a physical endurance event for me, one which I'm ended up doing a little better than I thought I would, at least at the beginning. But that's the way to do it. So many great moments on this trip. This campsite right here this evening is perfect. The moon just came up. The crescent. Probably can't get it through the trees, but it's pretty amazing. It's a beautiful little valley. Got a little fire going and got my tent set up. And I'm just trying to remember this little moment. Thought I heard something. I did hear something. It was very faint. Anyway, it's a pretty cool little place. I'm going to chill out here for a bit and then hit the hay. Yes, and I don't know how much you'll be able to see even in here. It's so claustrophobic, but this is my little home. This is, believe it or not, technically a 2-person tent. So I've stuff right out here in this little vestibule. Usually got my shirt and actually underwear hanging, and then my pants hanging, but I couldn't really do it. But yeah, this is it. This is where I sleep in my little lantern. Yeah, I'm gonna charge my headlamp and go to bed.